Oh my God, it's Friday. We made it, Steven. Steven, we made it.
We're too old for this stuff.
Can't believe we made it.
Hello, everybody. TGIF. Welcome.
Oh, big time. Big time. What a week. What a week. And we had some good...
Get snow down there?
We got on, I think it was Tuesday. We, either Tuesday or Sunday, I forget. We could go quick. We had the large flakes that came down throughout the night. Nothing really stuck or stayed. But Buffalo apparently got quite a bit. I assume you've already got a lot up there.
Not a lot. Just about, I'd say about 3 inches on the ground.
Okay.
And it's staying. It's not going anywhere.
It's staying.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. It's not melting or anything.
Time to play some Pengo.
Yeah, I'd rather not. But it's but in the end, we put up the Christmas lights, so we tend to do that out of respect after Veterans Day / Remembrance Day. So we put it after, and I didn't even know that was a thing till recently. I was like, "What do you mean don't put up the Christmas lights right after Halloween?" Oh, no, give it a few weeks. Oh, okay.
Well, first of all, it's not even Thanksgiving. In the U.S., man, I hate that. I hate when Christmas stuff's out, even before Halloween. You go into the stores, they got Christmas stuff up. I want to be like Mad Santa and like start ripping this stuff down. Wait till after Thanksgiving. Then do whatever you want, but give the other holidays a chance. Or maybe make Thanksgiving in, I don't know, August.
Put Thanksgiving the same as Canada. Keep it simple.
Yeah, man.
October. Beginning of October.
Rocktober. Rocktober. So real quick, we have a bunch of people here in the chat. We have Paul. We have Jeff.
Boost the volume, Steven. Or that Glenn that does that.
What's that?
Somebody in the chat said, boost my volume a little bit.
Boost your volume? How about you speak up louder? How about that?
Well, I could start yelling, I guess.
Let's see if that helps a little bit.
Either that or, Epkus.
Epkus, he's here.
Ipkiss.
Ipkiss. We have obviously Steven here. We have, God, I really need to get some glasses here. I'm trying my best to read these tiny screens. Was it Urjay?
That's what these are for.
Jen, Pliskin. Hey, he's here. Pliskin, good seeing you again, buddy. So, tonight was really a show that came to me because a lot of stuff just breaks.
And just breaks. With you.
And, so I had I usually buy GE products, for like house appliances and stuff like that. So I actually had this only 13 months. This was a GE dishwasher, right?
GE?
GE, yeah. So I had
Okay.
one for 10 years. A GE lasted 10 years, and another one lasted 10 years. So I think it's a pretty good run for a dishwasher. I got this one 13 months, dead. So I came home today, and I did really quick. I wanted to get in before the show because my dish has been piling up, and I got an LG. And I'm not a huge fan of these stainless steel
That'll
ones.
last 14 months.
Well, this time, Jen was twisting my arm saying, got to get the extended warranty. So I got a 5-year. I have to pay to get some kind of quality out of stuff. And that's annoying. No, when you bought stuff, you had 5, 10-year warranties on things, or even if they didn't, they lasted a bit. It don't last no more. Period.
Oh, no. Dude, I had an RCA television when I was a kid, a color TV, 20-inch. I had that sucker for 20 years, and it was still working. I had to give it away to somebody to get rid of it, kind of thing. It was
that's one part of it that they last. But now with appliances, it's like stainless. I mean, like when I first had a house back in the day, hardwood was cheap and the carpeting was expensive. Now the carpeting is cheap and hardwood's through the roof. So before, stainless steel used to be the expensive stuff, and I'm not a fan of stainless. It does scratch, it dents. I like the white
all over it.
Yeah. The white one now costs you a fortune, and you have to wait. And since my dishwasher was dead and Thanksgiving's coming, everyone's saying, Glenn, we need a dishwasher, so I bought this thing. I mean, it looks nice when it's brand new, but in like 2 days, my brother and my son is going to, and Jen knows this, I'm going to start going ape, because I'm going to scratch that thing, and I'm going to lose my mind big time. But it's not just about,
just walk up to it with a screwdriver and just give it one good one, and then it's out of your system.
Oh, God, Steve, don't. So, even in the chat, you guys buy things all the time. Does anything last anymore? I know with the Xbox, the 360 had the red ring of death. That was one of those things.
Don't even get me started on that.
Well, it's
I knew a guy.
The Clico Atom out of the box was like an 80% failure rate.
It was really bad, eh?
So
I knew a guy, dude, that went through 13 Xbox 360s. 13 of them. And after a while, Microsoft felt bad for him. They just sent him a couple of them because he had bought. Oh, dude, I think he bought like 3, 4 of them. The rest of them were just warranty. He kept sending them back. It's crazy. And I've got an appliance thing. I have a Samsung fridge. It looks good when you buy it new. It sounds great. And after, I want to say 6 years, the back of it where it cools down, it's like a pump.
Yeah.
And it's in the back, like an element back there.
Yeah.
The thing got all frosted up because the wiring was getting all screwed up. 6 years for a fridge. That's terrible.
That is.
It doesn't last. I mean, it's.
And I did hear that Samsung appliances, they make good phones, but their appliances are not so good. I had originally GE washer and dryer. I ended up buying an LG, and the LG lasted a really long time. I really liked the LG washer and dryer, but I went to buy a replacement because they served their time. They were due to be replaced. I bought Samsung this time. Samsung's a good name, but everyone's telling me the horror stories of their Samsungs. So now I'm a little worried because
I had a technician come up to me. He's a good friend now. He's like, don't buy Samsung. He says the best brand to buy, he says, is Whirlpool because they sell parts for them many years after.
Yeah, that's the thing. Again, this GE dishwasher, I know it was something stupidly simple to fix. It's either the computer board or a capacitor one because it just lost power. I mean, power was going in. I wasn't getting any power from the machine. I couldn't get into the stupid area to even find the part and get it fixed. So that really frustrated the hell out of me. So I had to spend, it wasn't a horrible one. I had to spend another, I think $119 for a 5-year warranty through Best Buy for a product they just spent, $600 on. Now it's like $800.
Because it's got to last longer.
Because none of that. The big thing is
with my TV.
It's a big pain in the ass. Took me 2 hours. I had to go under there. You got to undo the water hose. Then you find out the water hose is a different connector, and I have to go in store and get that.
Yeah, and the drain's different.
The drain's different. Yeah. So I have like an intestine, like 30 feet of drainage, because the pipe wouldn't fit on my sink, the side. So I had to take the old one, I had to buy it apart and join them together. So now there's like this huge
thing.
Silly
the
straw.
Hose is too long for nothing.
It is. Now I'm talking about appliances. I'm obviously talking about appliances, but there's got to be. I mean, game systems. You buy them.
Oh,
You
dude,
guys.
I'm not even finished my appliance story.
Oh, good.
That same Samsung, it came with an ice maker, not a water dispenser, but just an ice maker, and there's filters at the back of the fridge.
Right.
After 3 years, they stopped making those filters. And what they did is, if you order them, don't even get started. But yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. After 4 years, freezing up. Paul saying it in chat. So the filters, I'd order filters from a filter company. It made by Samsung, same part number. I get it here. I try to shove it in there and twist it. It's not the same hookup.
You have to watch Apollo 13. They found out a way to get a square carbon filter to fit in a round hole. You could have probably got it to work.
Oh, maybe after hack jobbing the thing itself, but sure. I'm sitting there going, "What the hell is this?" And Samsung will say, "Yeah, it's the right filter." I mean, do you guys don't understand? Did you guys fail that kindergarten thing where you put the circle in the square socket and it don't fit, and that tells you something? It's basically what it felt like. I'm like, Samsung failed that class, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, it's
Well, I seen in the chat.
I
people
will replace it with a Whirlpool, and the technician, as I was telling Glenn, I'm just replying to Paul there in chat. Whirlpool is the thing to get.
Well, no, I went to Home Depot, and there's a Whirlpool dealer there, and he was talking to me. But then when I went to Best Buy, because I have a Best Buy card, and I get the interest free,
They sell crap there.
3 people came in and said, "Oh, Whirlpool's the worst. We're replacing it. It was horrible. The guys did it all
they'll
the time."
say that.
So I'm like,
Talk
no,
to a technician, not a
it wasn't a
salesman.
salesman. It was people walking in and looking to buy their own dishwasher. They said, "Don't buy Whirlpool." They said, "They're
Really?
horrible."
But
So
you know what? Okay, let's hold on. Let's talk about something, and I'm sure people in chat. You know that television I was just talking about for 20 years? You know what brand it was? It wasn't Whirlpool, obviously, but it was an RCA. Okay? And then you're like, "Oh, RCA." Just like the record, the
well,
dog.
RCA has like been sold off like Polaroids, like 50,000 companies.
Oh yeah, well I didn't know that. So what I did is, many years later, I bought an RCA 720p rear projection DLP television.
Okay.
The thing died on me, and they wouldn't honor the warranty because it was their screw up. It was a defective part. They didn't want to. They didn't even want to sell me the part so I could put it in. And I was like, okay, I'll never buy your crap again.
That's it.
And I found that out online. Now I see RCA and Walmart and all these other places. I'm like, fuck that, not buying. Sorry for the swearing, guys, tonight, but I'm not buying that RCA crap anymore. And just like you said, it's been sold off 100,000 times. So a brand name almost means nothing too these days, right? So
well, that's a sad part, because to me, GE was like the best. Growing up, GE was the best. It lasted, and 13 months, and literally, I'm talking to the lady on the phone. She goes, "Yeah, you had a warranty." I said it was I didn't know it was not working. It kept like shutting off. I thought maybe it was just the circuit breaker. I tested a couple of things. So because I waited beyond 12 and went 13, sorry, it's $100 for the guy to come out, $50 from the pick his nose, $25 to inspect the parts. I'm like, forget it. And
I'm never buying GE ever again. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Click. And that's basically what happens. But then later on, whoever tries to redeem that name or company, well, you're done with that name. Like, to me, the RCA brand is dead in my head. It's just like, nope, sorry, not buying that crap ever again. Unfortunately,
looks like Paul looks like he got a Whirlpool on his. He also spent $2,200 on a fridge. Yikes!
Oh, they're not cheap, dude. It was about $3,000 is what we spent on Samsung at the time.
But Paul, I'm gonna tell you something, bud. He goes, I spent $22 on a fridge that could have bought 2 RK1 Pro cabinets for that. You did the better thing with the fridge, dude. You did better. You did better with the fridge. That was a good $2,200 than blowing it on the RK1 Pro line, man. Just telling you, you saved yourself more grief there. Because
Glenn's on fire tonight.
Well, look at RK1 up the failure rate. I mean, I've actually all that mine had. I have 2 out of 14 that I had. 2 were just dead out of the box. Again, for me, I really didn't care. I just put a pie in it. It wasn't a big deal. But things they just. I get they can be cheap. I get that, but there's got to be some type of quality control. There has to be some type of company standing behind it.
And that's it. They all go in landfills after that. And
they do.
I remember my grandma had a fridge for 75, 50 years almost.
Okay, so here,
It
Rexer.
kept running.
Here's the Rexer. He's saying he got a Whirlpool and a Samsung, had a Samsung washer and dryer, lasted 15 years. To me, that's a good life for one. So Rexer, that's good, and that's what I have right now. Hopefully it'll last. But my LG lasted about 17 years, and I could have fixed it. The dryer I fixed. Like the dryer, one of the bearings had went. You know, in the tumbler, one of the bearings went. I got a bearing for like $10 on Amazon. And I fixed it. But it was a front load washing machine. It's got the big drum in there. Yeah. And the drum, I guess, fell off. They call it the arch or the archer. It's this hand that holds on that drum. So I got the part, but then when I finally got it apart, it was a big pain in the ass getting it apart. The drum inside disintegrated to the point where I couldn't get the screws out. There was like no salvaging it. So to buy a drum plus that piece, you're talking like $350. Like I was buying a new one.
Another one.
Right.
Yeah.
So I get rid of it, and I go, holy shit, it's like $600 for a washing machine. I'm like, what? It's just a washing machine, and it's the thinnest of metals on them. It's not like they make it out of
They don't make them tough anymore either.
No.
So it's stuff's just, I don't know. It's sad.
So ladies, just letting you know, they don't make them like they used to. Got to go for guys above 40. Just letting you know right now. Yeah. The young guys can't last like us older guys. Just saying.
This took an awkward direction.
Just saying, the older things last. You got to keep them going.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing with this stuff is, it's sad because it exists everywhere. And like I've had TVs, dude, where it would just up and die, and I had the
new
TV
ones. You're talking about LCD screens.
Ones. Yeah. Boom. 2 years dead.
I'm gonna be honest.
You have to buy the extended warranty.
The old CRT monitors. I never had one die in me. I replaced it because I wanted a color one, or I replaced it because I wanted a bigger screen. I never had. My father had a TV for like 30-something years. There was nothing wrong with it. We made him get rid of it because we got him it was a Philips flat panel.
Okay, yeah.
But he was kicking and screaming. No, I've had that Zenith like forever. He even had one still had vacuum tubes. You could stand by it and like stay warm, like a fireplace.
Yeah. They didn't have the solid state stuff in it.
No.
Yeah. I know the tube. My dad used to repair them. He used to have a tube tester and flick a bunch of things, look up in a catalog, and he'd test the tubes, and he'd have a collection, and you just fix them.
Well, even Radio Shack used to have that. You walk in, they had a tube tester. Just went in and you put your tube in and see if it worked.
Yeah. Now the TVs don't last. Like the LG that I bought a 4K, 120 hertz HDR Dolby Vision television. A year and a half later, it died.
That's great.
And it was still under warranty, which was like, okay. So they came and got it off the wall. And then I said, look, in light of what's happened, can I buy an extended warranty? Yep. I paid an extra $100 and I got 5 years like you did, kind of a.
But did they fix the TV first of all? Or it was under warranty?
Totally fixed it. Oh yeah, it was still under warranty.
Well, to be honest, Jen told me just call Best Buy because I bought that GE at Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, just call them and get an extended warranty. I'm like, I can't do that now. She goes, yeah, you do it. And maybe I should have, but I didn't. Actually, what I should have did when I called for the service, I should have said I bought it like 2 months ago. Something stupid like that. Because if anyone knows me, stuff's in a bag, it's kept pristine. To them, they wouldn't have known. And that's what annoyed me more than anything. The thing looked immaculate, and I had to toss it. So real quick too, yesterday was Jen's birthday, so happy birthday to Jen. Let's embarrass Jen a little bit here. But also I want to say
Frosty the Snowman from that cartoon special. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. That's so creepy.
Gotta watch that this season.
But another friend of mine, I want to see that's the good and then the bad. Another friend of mine married down in Florida. Her uncle is he's terminally ill and I think he's getting moved over to hospice. So sympathies out to her and her family. Sure. No one likes to see a family member going through that. Unless it's your boss. Unless I'm your boss. Sometimes you don't mind if your boss goes into hospice. You're kind of like okay with that. But, in any case, tonight, I'm a little on fire today. I had a long week. I actually have a week of PTO. I'm off until next Monday. So I have a lot of cleaning to do around the house for Thanksgiving. Got to get that going. So maybe I'm a little fired today because I've been getting beaten down all work year.
We already had our Thanksgiving, so you guys just give us Black Friday.
We do. And then
That's,
Cyber Monday.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Can't forget about that. And there's a lot of good deals. New Wave Toys has got some really good deals, and At Games has really good deals. So, if you want to think about getting a Kubert, I think it's I want to say 119 for Kubert, or 1942 is 119. That's a really good deal from New Wave Toys.
Cool.
It really is. So if anyone wants a Kubert and you haven't gotten it from New Wave Toys or 1942, this is your chance. Go to their page. I'm not sponsoring them in any way, shape, or form, but I think a 119, that's a really good deal.
I don't know if it's a good. I don't have any of those.
You should get at least a Kubert. Don't you like Kubert?
I love Kubert.
That you should get a New Wave Toys.
I still have
Kubert.
the Centipede you sent me a few years back, up there.
But it's not. It's not
New Wave Toys at all.
It's not New Wave Toys. It's not a Kubert. I'm telling you, Kubert. P-Dubs went nuts over Kubert, and it's a good game. It's got the knocker inside when he falls off, and you have to feel the cabinet get a knock on it.
It has a knocker.
$119. That's a deal. Shipping. I know you got to pay shipping on that, but I think we spent over $300. You get free shipping, if I'm not mistaken. So buy 1942. Yeah, for Christmas. Christmas gifts, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. The what was I going to say about the whole fixing thing? So anyways, they came, picked it up, and
how long did it take? How long was it gone for?
About a week.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. They replaced and they don't fix them, eh? They just replace the logic board, and
that's what gets me. No one fixes it.
Thank you very much. There's no actual troubleshooting or anything. They
replace
a chunk of it.
Walking into like TV repair shops. There's like TVs and radios that's lined up all over the place, and then some people don't come back for them, so they put them for sale.
Yeah,
VCRs. That's where I got my first Bally Astrocade. I went
was there. Somebody was gonna. They fixed it. And
it was. I walked in there all the time. It was just sitting there. It was just sitting there. So I went up to the guy. Says, "Is that thing for sale?" I was like, I don't know, 10. He goes, "Well, not really." I said, "Well, I'd like to buy it. I always see it here." And he goes, "Well, I think it's gonna give me $100." So I got the Astrocade, and I got like 10 or 20 carts, whatever I got from at the time.
Oh, really?
And I put it. Guess where? At home, I had a shag rug. So I put the Astrocade on the shag rug, not knowing
Static.
the heat.
Oh, the heat
builds up.
It.
Heat kills the custom chips. So fortunately, it didn't happen to me. But I learned later in life that most of the Astrocades got terminally because the chips overheated.
Putting heat sinks on there? Is that what people are doing now?
Well, no, there were heat sinks on it, but the problem was the early 70s and RF. So they made them put a huge, aluminum shield around it. And that shield kept in the heat. When they designed it, they had all these vent holes, in the bottom and the top. But then when they had to put the shielding in there, they couldn't put holes through the shielding to defeat the purpose.
In there
and it just cooked everything. That's exactly it.
Well, look at it this way. I think everybody's on the same page with us, is that nothing lasts anymore, sadly.
No, but that's sad. I mean, see, I'm hoping my stuff is different. I hope like my yoke and my spinner, I hope those things last forever, because that's what I want. I don't want to buy something 15 times. Now, I do get things wear out. I get that, a drive belt and a washer, the heating element goes. I get that, but you used to be able to fix it. Like Rex said, you used to go to a store, and order a part, like Sears. You used to go to Sears. I need a part. Yeah, what you need a who's it? Yeah, we got 3 of those in the back. We'll pull it out. Boom. You go home and you fix your Sears, whatever. And that's why the last lawnmower I bought was a Sears Craftsman, and now freaking Sears is like dead. They're gone.
They're out of business now, aren't they?
More or less.
They went the same way as Toys R Us.
Yes. Although Toys R Us, I think, is coming back in some Macy's, believe it or not. But they're still in Canada.
They're up here. They closed one of the stores down. They've downsized quite a bit, but and in Canada, I'm pretty sure they're still around. Not 100% sure on that, but
they came back. They're coming back as a small section in Macy's, which is still sad. Now, there was nothing like walking into Toys R Us and you had this humongous place, and now if you go to Macy's, you look into a little corner, a little sign Toys R Us with a little sad giraffe in the corner, and that's it. But like even Radio Shack, I loved walking into Radio Shack. I loved getting their catalog. I loved it. And they're gone. They're trying to come back through the web. Now, I think if we go on the RadioShack.com.
Radio Shack, so somebody got probably bought
someone got it. But it's not the same. There's certain things like you could read a book on a tablet, or you could read a magazine or something like that. I still rather have the magazine. I mean, it's neat looking at it really quick, on a
I tried
screen.
the digital magazine thing, and I can't get used to it.
It's just something about flipping those pages.
Well, it's for me. I'll tell you what it is. It's the tactile pages thing, yes. But if you're on a computer as a technician, like you're a technician, Glenn, and so am I. We're staring at a computer screen all day, and when I want to relax, I don't want to stare at another screen.
It's true.
A piece of paper, fine, but it's the brightness, and that's probably why we have to wear stupid glasses now, because there's screens everywhere, burning our retinas.
Adam Caleb is going to make me worry. He says the front load water pumps and LGs never last more than 3 years. I assume he's talking about a washing machine. Now, if that's the case, mine lasted 15. This is a dishwasher. But I did buy the extended warranty. So if it dies in 3 years, I can go get a geek, pull him by his glasses, and fix it. And I guarantee at 4 years and 363 days, it's going to break. And then I get a new one. That's the key, right?
I have to agree with Apux. Or
what do you say?
Apux. Sears Christmas catalog was the best.
Oh my God!
I used to the same thing. It would show up, and my mom would have to get 2 or 3 of them for me and my brother and them, kind of thing. And then what we'd do is we'd go through them with either a Sharpie or something. It's like, I want this big fat circle. And my brother, when he was a lot younger, not in his older, he used to circle everything in the damn catalog.
Well, I agree with you. When the Sears catalog came, they started getting thinner year after year. But when you got that wish book, I could have known what page, what was on what page.
The toys
Sears was the place. It was.
Canada.
It was. It was such a good thing to get. Even the Radio Shack catalog used to get those. Going to the store, you get one of the catalogs. That's what made those companies, I personally think, prosperous. Then they started chipping out. No more catalogs. Going online. You lost a lot of potential sales from that. Nothing like going to, even after Christmas. You pick up the Sears catalog, you look at tires, you look at, weight sets, you look at anything.
Yeah.
They had it. A house. Sears, I don't know if people know, Sears sold houses. They would build a freaking, yeah.
I've never seen that in Canada. Maybe they did, but
they did.
I don't know.
They did. A couple of farms by me over here. It was a Sears. It's actually in the doorway. Sears Robot Co. Built house from Sears.
That's nuts. Never heard of that. In Canada, basically, I don't know if you guys had consumers distributing down there. It was a catalog store. So I don't know if people in chat are in Canada here. I don't recognize anybody, but you used to get a catalog from this store. You walked in this place, and it was a counter, and there'd people going to the back getting stuff. So they would have some stuff in the front, but you'd have these little booths like a post office.
Right.
And you'd fill out these cards with the product number. So you'd look through the catalog. They'd let you bring the catalog home. And then what you did is you went to this store. They had the warehouse in the back with all the toys and whatever right there on the spot. And then if you wanted a Star Wars X-Wing and whatever... Victoria's Secret.
That's what I saw. I just saw. I just saw that.
It caught my attention. And basically, you'd write down the number, and then you'd give it to the woman. She'd go in the back, tell the guy to go get the stuff in the back, and they'd cart it out, and they'd ring it up at the cash register, and you left with your stuff. My mom bought most of our Star Wars stuff there and ColecoVision.
That's
stuff.
the place you went.
You know what I mean?
That was real quick. Noonan was saying they sold cars. I didn't know that. I didn't know they sold cars. And
Where?
Jen says that the Sears house was called a Craftsman house.
Oh, okay, cool.
But there was Sears. Then you had your service merchandise or your consumers.
Did you have a consumer distributing down there?
We did.
Oh, okay.
It was in. It was at the Westchester Mall, which is about 20 minutes from my house. And I went there every time to get one thing. It was an Epoch Space Invader game. It was like white with like a black circle on the top and the invaders in there. Every time I went to that consumer, the guy knew me. He would run. I'm like, hey, do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it? And they never freaking had it. And then after like a year.
It was in the catalog, but not there?
It was in the catalog, never had it in stock. And then one day I went in there, he goes, we have it. I'm like, and then I bought it. But it took like a year to get that. But
wow. Here they had stocking problems too, where you go get a Star Wars thing. Well, we don't have that figure, but we have that one or whatever,
Now, was yours the same way where you said you filled out a card? We had to fill out a card, and you handed it to them, and someone goes in the back, and it would come out a conveyor belt, and you say, oh, that's going to be mine.
Yeah, it's exactly it. Yeah. A conveyor belt or cart, or I forget. It was so long ago. And it was here where I'm living now, we lived an hour from here a long time ago. But basically, yeah, you'd come out and then your Star Wars stuff or whatever, or what have you, you know. But it was a catalog. You could bring it home, and it was my favorite catalog because they have more cool stuff in there than they did in the Sears catalog, if I remember correctly. Sears catalog was cool and all, but the stuff I wanted was at the very end of the catalog. I'd
Yep.
just go to the very end, all the toys would be there, you know. So that's the thing, right? So you can see little Glenn. Can you see little Glenn running into a store? I can.
I actually had my little pygmy picture. I forgot to bring it. I had it actually, I'm not sure where it was at work, but it looked like Tattoo from Fantasy Island.
The plane.
That's yeah, it looked just like that. So maybe next week well, after the week after, I'm not going to work on Friday this week. So,
Are you playing hooky?
I am taking this week off, baby. This week is a rest week for sure.
Our community better not say anything.
No, they're good.
Don't call it in.
But I know the Build-A-Cade, we got that going out the door right now, and I'm hoping that's gonna last. People are very excited. They've been putting them together. Joe Sabos and Arcade Graphics are doing artwork for them, and I was surprised how well it looked myself. Arcade Graphics had done a Miss Pac-Man one, so I just took the artwork. I just on regular paper and just scotch tape it on to see what it looked like, and it looks really good. I mean, the shape of the cabinet really, if you put the artwork on and do it the right way, the cabinet looked really, really good. And Joe Sable's got Robotron, which I'm looking forward to. It's an acrylic. It's not really vinyl. It's an acrylic, so it's like reverse printed, I guess they say. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited for that too. So we have so many things we're still working on. We believe we also fixed the HDMI out for the Raspberry Pi 4.
I saw that.
So that's going to be cool. Gary's constantly working on updates. So he's updated the Pi 3 build, updated the Pi 4 build. Now, the one thing is we didn't include a cable. I think it's a mini HDMI out. So we may offer something people can purchase for a couple of dollars, to put that in. But
it's a 4 or a 3 that goes in there, right?
Well, the three will have HDMI out.
3B?
Yeah, A or B. And actually, I am trying to work on a Raspberry Pi A, which is basically the very first Raspberry Pi.
That's right, yeah.
So I got 2 of those by mistake. I thought I was ordering Raspberry Pi 3A, and the thing said it was
regular A's.
They said it was a 3A, and it was not. So I got 2 A's.
For free, probably, because they sent that out for nothing, or
yeah, I got it for like $20. I wasn't really going to complain, but
yeah.
For playing like a Pac-Man or Donkey Kong, Miss Pac-Man, those type of games, it's fine. So I'm going to build an image for that. This way I can tell Gary I contributed a little bit, and I'll put all that in there, and because we're trying to get more ways to play it. We're working on obviously all the different Raspberry Pis. They're looking like this coming year, Pi should be a little more plentiful, and even the Pi 5 apparently they're being talked about. But we're looking at other SBCs still as well. I basically want anything other than a fusion reactor to powering this thing. I want people.
There's some people in the chat. They can't find Raspberry Pis. There's a place in Canada. It's called buyapi.ca. I don't know if they have stock, but sometimes they'll. I'm not here.
You got to keep an eye out. There are still some good deals. I saw a couple. It's not the cheapest. I saw some Pi 3s going for like $50, which right now is not horrible. But in the coming months, Pis will become, according to the Raspberry Pi organization, easier to get. But also, we're working on ways to have other devices work in there as well. Because this Build-A-Cade is just a walk in the park, our first step. We want this to be a community machine. We want people to make modifications. We want people to do all kinds of things. We're working on external controllers right now. So you could take, if you buy the 4-pack kit, you can use any controller rather than disassembling your machine to put in the other controllers. Okay. Have extra controllers that just be in a little box that goes right into the machine. So this is not like a thing we're selling the product and it's yours and you build it and that's it. We are looking for this thing to be an ecosystem. And we also got the STEM certification, which I'm very excited about.
What is that all about? I wondered about that.
So the STEM certification is for education institutions like middle schools, high schools, colleges, learning institutions. So the Build-A-Cade is now sanctioned as a learning product. So they can use it for learning programming, learning engineering, learning 3D printing, learning how to program games, all these kinds of things. So the fact that, as far as I know, this is the first console, gaming type console that's been approved for education and the STEM program. So that's huge for us, and that's around the world. That's just not just U.S., Canada, Europe, China, Japan. So we'll be in their catalogs. You'll have you'll have your beakers, you'll have your globes,
and a Build-A-Cade.
You'll have your frogs you're going to murder when you dissect them, and the rabbits you're going to dissect when you kill them, and then a Build-A-Cade in between there.
You're in good company there.
So I think so.
Rotting animals and the Build-A-Cade.
Of course. So I'm really excited about that.
That's awesome.
And the potential for that, because I do think that kids today are obviously into gaming. They're into computers and all that stuff. So, and I know some schools do have curriculums for gaming. It's become now a thing like the Olympics.
It gives the kids a perfect excuse to play games during school time.
Well,
that's what we all want as parents.
We could put Atari Reader Math on there. Atari Math. TI Speak and Spell.
Or Whiz Math for the ColecoVision.
Right. You can put those things on there. So it's still educational. But it's just a thing
want to gouge their eyes out, but sure, why not? Why not? That's good. That's awesome. So yeah, I put a link to that that Pi Shop, .ca or whatever. I'm not promoting the whatever.
No, and some people are really bad. I saw a Raspberry Pi 3 going for $150, which again, it's still cheaper than a Windows PC, but that's crazy. It used to cost $30.
So here there's a Pi 4 gig model for $76, but that's the B.
That's okay.
And then Pi 4 B model 1 gig for $48.
That's not bad.
You don't. That's Canadian too, I think.
Yeah,
I don't think it's US.
That's not bad. So I think they'll get down. They'll get down in price. And I know a lot of people in the chat here did buy Build-A-Cade. So I want to thank you so much from all of us here at GRS Products, because we want you guys to be happy. We want you guys to share. If there's any issues as well. Here's one of the big things with us. If you do have any issues, something like that, let us know. And we listen. We're not gonna be like, it's not supposed to be that way. You're not using it right. No. We want this thing to be the best that it could be, and the best testers is everyone out there. The people will buy it, the consumers, because they have the passion
listen to
for
your
it.
community.
Yep, it's it.
That's simple. If you don't listen to people's concerns, complaints,
yep,
you're digging a hole.
Yep, and that was the whole point of me working with these companies. Some listened, some obviously did not. But you know what? You go like this.
A lot of them don't.
Go like this, and you move on. That's what you do, and you work. You work for yourself. No one's going to care more about your product than yourself. If you believe in your product, if you put time into your product, and you have a passion for it, that comes out in the end result. People see that. When it's just a business making money. They don't care.
Yeah, people don't care. That's the problem. So that's good. So you guys go out and get one. Help Glenn have a good Christmas.
Actually,
I want in his Ferrari.
I'd rather have the people have the better Christmas. I want people to. I want people to play these things. I want them on the shelf. I want to see, like 10 Build-A-Cades on there. Maybe one's a Robotron, one's a Crazy Climber. I want people to make their own. One person actually did artwork for like a Horrorcade. He's got like Chucky on there and Pinhead on there, and it looks really cool. And he made his Raspberry Pi build, horror themed. So those are the kind of things I want to see.
That's cool.
Epcus, John D says you don't understand economics. That's true. I don't, and I don't want to understand it. All I care about is the end user having a good experience. I could care less about economics, and that's the other problem with these companies. They care about their margin,
the bottom line.
Oh, wait! You could have two products. You could have one that costs $1. And it's excellent, but one costs 3 cents and it's shit. That's okay. Put the 3-cent one in there. They'll fix it later on.
You know what? I give it the philosophy of buying a Honda or some other cheap vehicle. When you buy a Toyota or a Honda, you pay a bit more, but guess what? You're not at the garage every 2 seconds with that vehicle. It's the same idea.
But here's
you're
the thing
buying
too.
A little bit more.
Hyundai used to be that company. When you bought it, it was garbage.
That's right. Now
Kia.
They're exceeding everything.
They're better than Honda and Toyota in some tests. I've had Hondas. My father had a Toyota. I'm not a fan of Toyotas. My father liked his Toyota. My brother had a Toyota. So I was a Honda guy. I loved my Hondas, but I actually think my Hyundais are better.
You know what? It's you just got to keep the community happy. And you know what? The best piece of advice you can give anybody, and I've been in business for about 25 years. word of mouth speaks wonders. Best advertising is word of mouth. So all the people here will go buy it. You're going to find out pretty quick if it's good or bad. And if it's good, it's going to take off like wildfire. And that's it. I'm sure it's going to be fine, obviously. But
Paul's got some good comments in here. He's got, I need to do a Negan artwork on one of my Build-A-Cades. I think that's going to be pretty hysterical. But I need a Christmas commercial for the Build-A-Cade.
Sure, I guess, eh?
That's funny.
Well, look at it this way. It's time will tell, and I'm sure it'll be fine. And it's essentially that. Did you want to switch gears to something else a little bit?
Well, I want to show. Yeah, I want to show. I mean, I don't know if anyone is into this but myself. But let's see here if I get rid of the screen here. So finally, I've been waiting for this thing to go up forever.
We rise together.
So do I. It's I got a T-shirt when I was down to Florida for this.
So this is NASA after I think since 2011 working in the Artemis program. Finally
Really, they've been working on this since 2011.
Since 2011, one-time use, $2.4 billion launch here, and Elon Musk he's got to be laughing. I mean, fine, we finally launched the thing. That's awesome. Finally launched it. Elon Musk is going to do it for pennies on the dollar, and it's reusable.
Yeah,
the
probably.
parts on this are from the shuttle. The boosters, which were reusable, are now not. They're not. Once the boosters go up, they throw it away. The engines all get thrown away. The only thing that comes back is the capsule. So honestly, they keep trying to say it's not Apollo all over again. I agree. It's a shittier Apollo. It really is. So just take my hat off to them for saying, "Hey, finally got it off. Great, thank you. $2.4 billion to launch that." Elon Musk will do it.
Yeah. Paul was saying, why did they launch at 1 a.m.? You were saying at 3 a.m. or?
Well, the thing was, I thought they were going to launch this thing. I thought they were going to launch this thing in the middle of the night, like in the morning. Because normally I do these launches in the morning, and I woke up at I wake up at 5 in the morning. I think I woke up at 4:45 this morning, and it launched like an hour and a half ago. I'm like, what? They probably did that.
Everybody missed it. So did I. I wanted to watch it, and it's like, what do you mean I'm going to stay up till 3 in the morning and to watch a rocket launch? Oh.
Well, I think they did it in case it blew up. Not many people would have watched it saw it.
It would lit up the sky like it was daylight anyway. So
I mean, you look at this thing; it doesn't even look cool. I mean, the Saturn V looked cool. The shuttle looked cool. This just looks like a mess. I'm being honest. I'm a huge NASA guy. I'm into astronomy and space.
Yeah.
I do think this was a complete waste of money. It was taking technology that was never meant to be put together, but they did it so people kept their jobs.
Old technology too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Just people keep their jobs. Elon Musk started from scratch, and he's going to build a much better machine. This, by the time this is done, is going to be like $14 billion. By the time this program goes, I think Artemis 6.
But why did they? It's not even self-landing. Self-landing is the new standard now, kind of thing.
Well, again, they started this in 2011.
I mean?
This is from 2011. That's the problem.
This is like trying to tell somebody, we're going to launch a rocket. We're going to use rotary phones to call each other. And Elon Musk is like the smartphone version where it's like, yeah, everybody's got a smartphone now. It's self-land. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, why? Like they should have had something that would have been one-upping Elon a little bit or something.
Well, again, they were supposed to do the Constellation program, and then they canceled that, and they took parts of that and moved it into this. It's just a mess. Like when the government gets involved with these projects, it's a money waster with old tech. I think the best thing they did was getting like Elon Musk, an independent company doing it. His Starship is going to be everything this is
Bezos
and more.
is across the road too.
He is, but Bezos, he has a penis ship. I'm not a fan of that one either.
Yeah, Nooner was saying that the genitalia rocket there.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy they launched it. It was it's going to be $14 billion of my tax dollars on a machine that's one-use throwaway. It's a heavy lifter right now. It is the most powerful rocket right now launching until Starship gets its booster going, and then it won't be. It's the biggest rocket going.
Aliens must be laughing at us. Hey, look at them. They're still using fire to go up in
fire
space.
and capsules.
They're basically strapping a piece of dynamite to their butts to get up to space, and the aliens are hovering stuff at the speed of sound or light, practically. You know what I mean?
Again, for me, it's just that the SRBs are basically the same ones on the shuttle. It's an extra segment. It's a little bit bigger than the shuttles, but that was reusable. These are one-time use throwing away. That's, again, wasting my money, wasting taxpayer money on those boosters. the main engines are the space shuttle's reusable engines. Not recovering that either. They're throwing that away.
Well, they might as well launch it up into space and not have it hang around Earth, I guess.
Yeah,
They're just launching the garbage up in space. I don't know.
And then the Orion capsule, which they just try to find a use for that, they have the European command module. Now, the Saturn V's command module, the engine bell, was powerful enough to turn the ship around at any point in time to a direct abort. It was the engine bell was huge. On this one, the engine bell is like, excuse me, I can't turn you around right now, but I'll slow you down a little bit. It's not powerful at all. It takes multiple days now to get to the moon. It took 3 days before. Now it takes even longer to get to the moon. And then to get in orbit, it has to be in a weird orbit because the engine's not powerful enough to take it to a lower orbit. It's just like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah, and you look at Elon's going to have something on the moon by probably next 2 to 5 years. Guaranteed. It's going to be a self-landing rocket on the moon.
I suppose so. Let's see if they have anything else of this.
So. That dude's been changing the world. What's NASA doing? We got internet in places we'd never had it before, thanks to Elon. I'm a big Elon fan. I got him that super fan what he's doing with Twitter and laying off a shit.
Well, I was a fan of his. I was a fan of his until I was getting solar. I was getting Tesla solar panels on the roof, and I went to
you told me about that.
Went to the whole thing, and then one day they just canceled on me, and they literally canceled it like 12 hours before. I said, "Coleman, why'd you cancel it?" Oh, we didn't hear from you. I said, "You didn't call my phone." So we tried emailing you. I said, "Well, I told you contact his phone, not email. You didn't do that. So I want it reinstated." They wouldn't do it. So they said we can reapply. Now I had 0.9%, and I got the price for the roof tiles and everything.
Yeah.
But after they were done, it was like 4% and even more. So they canceled to get more money. And Elon's done that before. So Elon can also eat my grits, if you will. I will never buy something from him. I won't buy from GE
that
either.
Sucks.
Yep.
I'm a fan for what he's doing for humanity because I don't need his internet, but my buddy lived out in the country.
Right.
And he had crap internet. Now he's got a decent internet connection now, which is good. That's the part I like about Starlink and what they're doing there. But again, I've never given the guy a cent yet. So,
well, I was going to buy a Model 3 as well. And Wright was going to buy the Model 3. The price got jacked up. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to buy it. And they jacked it up again. So I'm turned away from him. I wanted to support him because I
of course,
believed in him. But now I was like, nah.
Yeah, he's not the richest guy for nothing, I guess.
Yep.
So it's so when is this thing going to be there? Around the moon or whatever?
You know what? If it was Apollo, I would have said 72 hours. Now I think it's longer. I think it's 5 or 6 days.
Oh, and then, so next week.
Yeah, and then to get into the orbit, it takes even longer because it's a very elliptical orbit. The Apollo was only like 50 miles, 30 to 50 miles above the surface. It got a nice low orbit. You can look up and see the thing like above you. Yeah, this could be like almost like a comet. It goes close and it's gonna go way out, and then close and then way out. I think that orbit is like a week. So I don't know.
Is it coming back to Earth and
it will be
in the ocean
in a month.
Essentially,
in 1 month it'll return. Just the Orion capsule, and the Orion capsule, the very top is reusable. I think 10 times.
Yeah, I've seen that at Kennedy Space Center. The bottom of it all burnt up when it comes back in the atmosphere. Yeah,
right,
it burns up pretty hardcore.
Well, they used ablative shielding, so it's designed to heat and tear away and flake away. They just actually tested a new heat shield. It's an inflatable, like I think called a balloon, where it's small and it inflates around it. And they tested it and it worked. So maybe they can start doing something along those lines. But now Elon Musk is just using stainless steel. So why don't they do that?
No idea. Old ways, old dog, new tricks, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, it's things are exciting. So any big plans for Christmas?
First of all, Stephen, it's not even Thanksgiving yet, buddy.
We
need to talk about Thanksgiving first. But
we don't have Thanksgiving here in Canada, so I don't know.
Well, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is Thursday. Thanksgiving is this Thursday, so that's the first thing. We're gonna have a bunch of people at the house.
Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, you guys have that day off.
We do.
So that's a non. But do you guys work the next day, or is it usually like thrown in a long weekend?
No, you would go back to work on Friday, but I have next week off. So This is a week for me to
So the holiday's in the middle of the week almost.
Thursday. It's always a Thursday, the third Thursday of the month.
So they just throw in the Friday?
Nope, you work Friday unless you get it taken off. You have to work.
So you fill your belly full of turkey and whatever else, and then you're expected to go to work the next day?
Yep, that's right.
And how does that work exactly?
I don't know.
For us at Christmas time, you're off for a few days. So you eat the pie
Well,
and
same
the
thing here.
turkey and all that
Christmas,
stuff, and you're
home for Christmas.
Unbuckle your belt a little bit so you have stretch your pants, and you sit on the couch and watch old Lawrence Welk repeats.
Well, here you got Christmas off, but the next day you back to work. Unless Christmas falls on a Saturday, it's just how it works.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? So it's that. So yeah. So in other words, for us, I think we're sticking around and not doing very much for this holiday. So I just hope COVID doesn't hang around a lot. Are people getting sick in your neck of the woods? I don't want to bring up the whole COVID thing to depress people more, but just curious.
Nope.
Just to see if it's running rampant. Here, it's up there. It's not running rampant, but it's people are getting sick and not putting masks on, and it's like, okay.
Well, you should get vaccinated if you can, and do that. I was, what do you have your poll saying here? Steve, we get up at 3 a.m. on Friday to sit in line at Walmart. Yeah, people, they're crazy. I did it once, and there was a lady had to be like 67 years old. She was like beating people down for stuff. I don't go to there anymore. I did it once.
Well, they used to. I have a friend of mine. He used to live in Virginia, and used to tell me these stories about buying hard drives on Black Friday for like half the price. One per customer, kind of, you know what I mean? And they'd be lined up outside.
Yeah, like 2 of them. There's 2 of them. 2 hard drives at that price.
Yeah. And they'd line up, and then there'd be people fighting for the 2 hard drives or the 1 hard drive or whatever.
I tell you, this woman had to be like 60 or 70 years old, and she's like body checking people, like bang, bang.
She's old school, man.
She was taking them out.
She comes from the Great Depression and stuff.
It's not. To me, it's not worth it. To be honest,
no.
Those blockbuster deals, they have them online for the most time. You just go online, click, and
now you can. Yeah. But in the old days, it was outside in the freezing cold, and that's it. Hobby Hands did a
super chat.
Yeah.
You want to read it?
Yeah, let's read it. If you work retail, then you get up at 4 a.m. on Friday and wait for the crazies. Worked at Radio Shack during Black Friday back in the day.
Oh. Hobby Hands, you and me both, brother. I worked at Radio Shack myself back in 87 to 89. Thank you for the $5 super chat, by the way. And I did the same thing. But I got to admit, Radio Shack, I made good commission on the computers back then. The 10D1000 series, where they had the 16-color, CGA graphics. I made a pretty good commission on those computers. I miss Radio Shack. I really do miss Radio Shack.
Here they renamed them to The Source here in Canada.
Okay.
So whatever was a Radio Shack became what they call The Source.
The Source.
Yeah, and it's basically the same store, but just not Radio Shack at the top like it was, many years ago. So it's like, I
don't like change. Do you like change? I don't like change.
I like a little bit of change, not too much change.
Like they changed Coke and made New Coke. That was bad move. Then they made Pepsi. They made Crystal.
Dude.
Crystal Pepsi. Bad move.
Okay, you gotta. Okay, this is for everybody in chat. On Netflix, this just came out, and it's a documentary called Pepsi Where's My Jet?
The Harrier.
Yeah, the Harrier jet. It's a whole documentary on that. I had no idea that rabbit hole was that big.
I remember that commercial. I remember that commercial.
I remember it too. And the interesting part that they actually mention in the documentary, in the U.S., it said 7 million points or whatever. In Canada, same commercial, but it said "just kidding" at the bottom, like a disclaimer, like it was a joke. And
not in the U.S.
After.
Not in the U.S.
Not in the U.S. So they got into hot water, and they were asked, like, why did you have that up in Canada with the disclaimer? And the U.S. it didn't, So check it out. It's a decent documentary. It's Pepsi, Where's My Jet? Or Where's My Jet? Or something like that. And it's this kid, he wanted it, and he actually, I won't spoil it, but this kid really wanted this jet, and it was pretty clever the way they...
Did he get the 7 million points?
Well, watch the documentary.
Okay, watch the documentary.
He did, but in a roundabout way, I guess.
Okay.
You
Oh,
know.
real quick, let's just make a quick round of people in the chat. We have Upkus here. We have Paul here. Stardust, welcome. Pliskin's Run, buddy. Good seeing you here as always. With, of course, Adam here and Nooner. BA is here as well. Hobby Hands. Andy's Game Room. Who else are we missing here? Steven's here. Make sure I'm getting everyone here. Don't want to miss anyone. Don't want to miss anyone.
Paul Paulington.
Pullington's here. Nooner. Jen.
Al Ivisman.
Alavisman. Yep, just saw him here. I think we got everyone here. So I want to check real quick. Make sure everyone gets a quick shout out. Because
Yeah, exactly.
we have such a good crew here, man. The chat, I read these chat comments and sometimes I bust out laughing. Some of the stuff these guys.
Brad Allison.
Brad Allison. Yeah, just saw him. Yes.
Yeah. Jennifer, of course. She's been pretty quiet. I don't know if she ran away and got.
Well, I think I may have
Arcade Workshop
with
Chris
the birthday.
Williams, EERRJJ. That's hard to pronounce.
Remember JJ? What's happening? I think we got everyone here. Oh, wait, Vet 1981. Hello. You see you there. There's some guy named Stephen Cameron. Who the hell that is.
I don't know who the
Jeff
hell that
D.
is.
I think we hit everyone. If not, Stephen, in the chat saying we missed me. You missed me, Glenn. Yeah, I
Shout out
apologize.
in there. Well, it's that time of the year too. So since it's next week, next Thursday, we'll be on maybe for next week, right? We'll maybe.
It's a Friday. We could talk about some of the Black Friday deals we tried to do.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but I guess we should wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. Since
we should.
There
won't be any game time. Stephen wants to have time with his family apparently on Thanksgiving. You guys are my family, so that's just showing you where I am.
What's that? When your kids get to be teenagers, it's like you don't have kids anymore. They think you're not so hot, like a hero back in the old days.
That's it. Urjay's here too. Hey, Urjay, just so you're in there. Arcade Workshop. So Gary's here. So, Arcade Workshop, if you guys did not know, he's the one who helped me work. Well, he actually did the design. I had the idea, but he actually made the design for the Build-A-Cade, and he is still working diligently right now on additional functionality, new Pi images for it. Like I said, he just updated the Raspberry Pi 4, so we can get HDMI out working on that. And that was a limitation of RetroPie on the 4. It was nothing to do with just the Build-A-Cade. It just wasn't there. So he kind of went hardcore and figured out a way to do it. So
cool.
Kudos to him. And again, we still have a lot of things going there. Apparently, according to Adam, there is no Super Game Rooms tonight. That's pretty sad. What do these guys do with their time? Jesus.
It's called life, I think. But what do I know? What do I know? So
we do want to wish everyone seriously who celebrates Thanksgiving, and I feel bad for you turkeys, but you're delicious, and we are going to stuff you, and we're going to eat you with potatoes, and
we're not stuffing anybody on this show.
Delicious.
It's a family show, Glenn.
Well, you're stuffing a turkey with stuffing, with sausages and delicious sausages, and I know some people like that red stuff. Ugh, cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce.
Yeah. Nah.
I'm not a fan of that stuff. It's just your plain Jane stuffing.
Yep, I don't
just
put
like the
nothing on it.
stovetop stuff there. You know what I mean? Just in the bird it goes.
Yep. Put some hot sauce on it. Just put some Red Hot. That's what you need.
On turkey?
On anything. Red Hot goes in cereal.
Turkey makes you fall asleep too. That doesn't help.
It does.
Yeah.
It does put you to sleep.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. It's if you have wine and turkey, and then you go outside in the cold, it's like somebody swift kicked you in the butt, basically.
Well, better in the butt than where Jen's dog got me the other day.
Oh, he got you in the front family jewels there, or what?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was seeing some stars.
Seeing some stars. That's gotta suck.
Yep. And he's a big dog. He's a big boy. He's only 6.5 months old, 7 months old.
Was like a German Shepherd or
no? He's a Labradoodle or something like that, or Doodle Poodle or Poodle Moodle. But he's big. I mean, if he stands
like
up,
a full-size poodle.
If he was to stand up on his hind legs, he could probably put his paws over my shoulders. I mean, he's a big dog. Unfortunately, he took his paws and he went to not this head. He kind of went
the other one.
And I was seeing all kinds of colors. Aussie Doodle. Okay, he's an Aussie Doodle, and his name is Coda. And I came up with that name, by the way. That was my name.
Not Cujo? Should call him Cujo.
Nah,
Touching your family jewels like that.
He's one of those dogs. He's got these
An
eyes,
Aussie
man.
Doodle.
When he looks at you, I think it was a human because the eyes look at you like, you know, dude, they put me in the dog's
They
body
see
by
into your
mistake.
soul.
Yeah, I was supposed to be a person. They put me in a dog. What happened?
Maybe he's getting you for naming him Coda.
Well, you know, Coda is from Brother Bear.
No, you should call him Yoda instead. That would have been cooler. That's why he hit you in the nutsack. You gave me a shitty name. Boom.
No, it's a good name. It's a good name.
He resents you for it. You gave me a crappy name. I'm stuck with this forever.
Oh, yeah. So Nooner had the same problem. That's our neighbor's damn dog. He says hello with a headbutt to the private.
Yeah, we got a cat. Cat doesn't do anything like that, which is good. Just gets the claws everywhere.
And plus got the same problem. Always nice to have a dog visit you wants to sniff your crotch. And you know,
can't
dogs,
get any friendlier than that.
No, he's like they're right in there. If they're a little dog, you get, you know, that you're tall. When they're a big dog, man, they're getting right in there. They're in your business.
Your nose up your crotch, and you can't get any friendlier than that. They're friends. No, man's best friend.
We're starting to go down the rabbit hole of raunch.
Yeah.
So
we're in the end here.
We want to thank you. You know, this we're almost like the Seinfeld show. We don't talk about anything, but we talk about everything, which is kind of good.
It's a show about nothing.
But next week we probably will talk about Black Friday deals on Black Friday. I will say though, right now at
if you
games,
guys got them, bring them and post them in the chat.
Yes, if it's still available, absolutely. But I know right now at games and definitely New Wave Toys, definitely have some Black Friday stuff going on. I do as well. If you go over to the Thunderstick website, still got 40% off. You put in Holiday 40, get a Star Wars yoke, not for $200, but for $119, and 40% off everything except the Build-A-Cade. Unfortunately, the Build-A-Cade is already bare bottom at $89. I can't take anything off of that. I'd be giving you money. Take that one out. But in any case,
season for giving, Glenn.
It is. I'm giving you guys the beauty of a Build-A-Cade.
Yeah.
That was enough shilling. See, I shill for myself. I know there's
nothing wrong with that. It's self-promotion. It's all
it is.
Yeah, it's when you shill for other people that don't help you out.
No,
that's not good.
No, or people who shill for companies and it's obvious. It's like, my God, man,
they lay it on pretty thick. And it's,
pretty thick.
Yeah, that's sad.
But in any case, we do want to wish you guys who celebrate Thanksgiving next week. We want to thank you all.
Be safe.
Yep, be safe. Thanks for joining us today. We really do appreciate it. And once again, you guys are the best group out there. I love reading these comments, and half the time I'm spitting my drink back out into the cup because you guys
they
comment
are
stuff.
A good bunch.
You are our family. You are definitely our extended family. I appreciate every one of you guys. And stay safe. Give good thoughts out to my friend Mary. Her uncle apparently is not doing well at all. I guess he's on his way to hospice at this point, which is not a good thing for this time of year.
That's to be thankful for the people around you. That's what Thanksgiving's all about. It's the same in Canada. We care about our people too,
Yep.
Just different month.
Yep. So on that note, guys, I want you to have a great night. Have a great weekend. Make sure you watch your favorite channels. Make sure you tell your family, most of all, your family and friends that you love them, because you know what? Nothing's promised. You could be walking down the street. Next thing you know, one of the Artemis ships comes down and lands on your head, and you're done.
You're so dark. You're so dark.
On that note, have a great night, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Good night, guys. Take care.
Game on, everyone.
Tiny Arcade fan page. Remember, don't admire people too much. They'll disappoint you.
Sit, Blue Blue, sit. Good dog.